Hey everyone, thanks for joining Coastal Chronicles once again. We have a long overdue video this evening. We took our boat down from Woodbridge all the way down the Potomac and just a little bit up the Rappahannock to our dock on the property. It was a pretty exciting journey and we hope you liked the video. My favorite part was after a long day on the water, which got a little choppy, as you'll see, hanging out at the tides, which is our happy place, and just having a few drinks and taking the boat over the next day. What about you?
So you're right. It was a wild ride. By the end of the 5 hours, I felt like my guts were coming out of my mouth, but it was cool. It was kind of like we had to dig down and really make it happen. So Matt did a great job. But once we actually got into calmer waters and started pulling into the tides, I agree that was really awesome. What I really liked is when we took the water taxi from the tides and discovered a whole new town, which was Urbana. We went there for the Oyster Festival, which you'll see on the video. It's a cool town. Like I didn't even know about it, and being able to explore it by getting there on boat was pretty cool. So I love that part.
Hope you enjoy.
Let's get started. I hope everyone's ready. First, at Belmont Bay Harbor Marina. This is a great little marina. We've been here for 2 years now. We were on the C dock, which is the dock that I'm looking down here on the very end on the right. We'll head out of the marina and head all the way down the Potomac, popping into Colonial Beach just for gas, out into the bay, and then up the Rappahannock just slightly to end up at the tides end. Obviously, we've been tracking weather and wind and tides and you name it for a couple of weeks, and by all accounts, it was going to be a perfect day. There's Mindy. Hey, Mindy. But it started out right away pretty rough. I mean, it was very calm in the marina, but you can see we're getting some chop, and it's pretty windy, and we've got an overcast day. We left pretty early, around 8 a.m. And it started off a little choppy. I mean, this is the Potomac. These aren't big waters by any means, but we did get a little chop. The first major site to see is or landmark would be the 301 bridge, which you can see in the background. Watch out for that crab pot. Missed it. Anyway, here we are. We just go under. There's the bridge you can see on the map. And we pop into Colonial Beach really quickly. We didn't even take video for gas. And right back at it onto the Potomac. You can see it's getting a little rougher. We only saw 2 vessels on the water the entire 5.5 hours on this trip. And one of them, which I think we'll see here on the next clip, is a barge. The other one was a boat that's quite a bit bigger than ours. So our boat is 35 feet. It's not small by any means, but if you start to get 2 and 3 feet of waves, it gets a little rough. We're not quite there yet here. This is maybe a foot or foot and a half, something like that. Pretty reasonable, but it's getting a little choppy. It's getting a little rougher. We're starting to get into more open water. Here's that barge I was talking about. Obviously, much bigger boat than ours. And you can see some rollers starting to develop. They make you have to slow down. And this is where it gets interesting. We start to get out into the bay and we get 2-3 foot bowlers to the point where we couldn't even get very good footage, especially when we're out in the bay. So we really couldn't concentrate while trying to get footage. So it was pretty rough, mainly just because we're trying to make time, right? And you have to slow down when it gets that big. So we slowed down, and that slowed us down probably a half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But eventually, we made it to Irvington and the Tides End, which is our happy place. Really great place to relax. And finally, the waters were calm, and we checked into the tides for the night, stay on the dock, so that we could catch our own dock the next morning, which is close by. But we wanted to catch it on the high tide so that we didn't have any issues with the bottom. Hasn't been a boat on the dock for a while, so we wanted to make sure we have plenty of water. So these are very tidal waters right off the bay. Here we are docked, and the other boats made us feel like a pretty small boat, but they're great people, and we talked with a bunch of them. I think these people are loopers, so they're doing the Great Loop. They have these big trawler kind of boats. So there are multiple couples on each boat. Here's our little boat. Inside's nice. Good place for us to stay when we're down on the property. So again, it's just such a relief to be here finally after 5.5 hours of fairly stressful going, especially the last part of it on the bay. But it's nice and calm here, and we're looking forward to some cocktails and a nice dinner up in the dining room, which you can see to the right. Usually when we stay here, we're on one of those in one of those rooms overlooking the marina, which is cool. And you'd see it's just a great little cove, and just a really cool place. So we come up off the dock, and we have full power and everything at the dock, and we can use all the amenities. It'll be great in the summer to pull around here if we want, maybe to have guests. We can use the pool and hang out on the boat and order food, and they'll deliver food to the boat. It's an awesome place. You can see they have kayaks and paddle boards, and they have there are great oysters, which we'll talk about later in this part of the country, including on the property right up off the dock. There are oyster beds, wild oyster beds, but they have oyster shucking here at the tides. That's the marina office, that little gazebo that I'm going to peek into here. So they were very helpful, and you can see kind of the view looking out to the Rappahannock, which is just right out. Another nice thing is we have a shower and we have facilities on the boat, but it's nice to have a good bathhouse that you can use, and this bathhouse works quite well. It's got a shower, nice hot shower, restroom and mirror, and nice private area that you can use. You don't feel like using the boat. So we had a great time at the tides, and we had a couple hours here to settle in and just relax and have a few drinks. But after this, we're going to go out and have some fun. We didn't even know it until the day of, or the day before, but the Urbana Oyster Festival, one of the biggest oyster festivals in the world, was the exact weekend we planned to take the boat down. So we took a tender from the Tides Inn over to Urbana. It's just a quick trip from Irvington right across the Rappahannock to Urbana. Urbana is a small town, but man, it was packed. There were boats everywhere. The whole town is on the water. Here's Mindy, Captain Mindi, ready to have some oysters. The streets were lined with vendors, all kinds of stuff on display. It was a beautiful day. Nice fall colors, lots of history in this part of the country. It was just beautiful. And again, the town was packed, super lively. We were really excited to see what the festival was all about, and it didn't disappoint. There were people everywhere. There was all kinds of food, different stands, from carnival food to, of course, oysters, different kinds of drinks, and it was just great. The town was completely buzzing, and it was a perfect interlude after a pretty stressful day, just to just walk around, enjoy the weather, and enjoy some oysters. Here's some oysters and some lobster roll. Mindy likes bibs. She's wearing a bib, nice bib. And there's the payoff. Boom! Love it. Anyway, good fun. That's what the bib's for. Oh, we found Jimmy's. Little Jimmy's, a little version of Jimmy's. Anyway, this bar was awesome. Very similar to Jimmy's Old Town Tavern in Herndon, Virginia. I highly recommend it. Been going there since they opened, over 24 years now, almost 25. So, anyway, Little Jimmy's was awesome. Lots of people dancing, having fun. And we took the opportunity to enjoy and do some selfies, and we even got photobombed. Nice. After a really fun evening and a good night's rest, we pulled the boat around to our dock at the property. Now we have a great place to stay when we're visiting, and we're really looking forward to it. What an awesome trip.
And there you have it. We have a nice place to stay on the property now as we continue to do projects and work. And we also have a really cool way of exploring the Northern Neck by water while we're down there.
See you soon.
See you soon.